as everybody's gaining access. Looks like it's working perfectly. Okay. This means being live streamed. We have everybody's messages here, and we're ready to begin. Okay, welcome back. Hope you all had a restful, nice Thanksgiving weekend. And we're back for the last couple of sessions together. What my goal is this today is to do a review of what we need, that's what's due, answer any of your questions, and I'll end a bit early today. I'll stay with you if some of you have questions that you need about the exam or your projects. I'll be happy to look at. Otherwise, we'll start. In this case, Dylan, if you can be so kind and check the chat room to see if there's any issues there. Okay. And if you can address it. Otherwise, just call out and let me address it for everyone to make sure that everybody understands it. We have one more assignment due that we covered last Monday. Not all of you were here to cover last Monday. And we have our exam that we'll be meeting in person shortly. Okay, so let me start by sharing my screen as everybody gets aboard. So I'm going to share my screen and we'll see what we have here. So I don't want to save this. And here, I can close this. And this as well. Don't save. Okay, so I'm going to go to my browser, my Chrome browser. We can see that everyone is on board. I'm going to go to our section right here. We were in the Zoom meeting. Later in the session, we'll do the attendance. And let's go, everyone go to what's due. And under the what's due section, let me make this expanded. Under the what's due section, we had on Monday, the November 20th, it sounds like so far away, where you had your code to upgrade and the optimization that you should have upgraded, created the domain, get found on Google, the SEO steps, and Zoom integration. So let's start here. This Wednesday, we're on Monday now, November 27th. This Wednesday, November 29th, we're meeting for our second exam in the same place where we met before. And that is, what I suggest you do is at least 10 minutes before class time in person in Stubblefield 204. On last Monday, I recorded the session where I went through a review of what's on the exam. You're welcome to look at that review as well. We're going to do the same format. It's going to be using Respondus. It will also be in the same format that there will be two parts to the exam. Please bring your laptop as well in case there's issues with the computer as we had seen in the past. So in case there's computer issues with the lab computers, we need to set that up. Make sure you bring your pictured ID with you, preferably your cane card and your computer. If you have any special accommodations. As soon as you come into the classroom, please let me know that you have special accommodations for the exam. The chapters that will be covered will be the new chapters of TG, which is Tech Guide 3, Cloud Computing, Chapter 14, which is Artificial Intelligence, Chapter 10, which is Enterprise Resource Planning, Chapter 12 is Analytics, Chapter 4 that we've done before, we will have questions on that as well, which dealt with security. Chapter 5 is data management, and we'll have, that will be multiple choice. There will be open-ended questions, which will be separated, and that will be open-ended cloud computing and AI. So if you see here the attached sheet here of the review, you can open it. It's in doc format. And when you open it in the doc format, you will see that it reviews the topics that we went through before, from chapter 4 of the securities, from risks to social engineering. We had mentioned before in the Wiley book on table 4, there's a table 4 on the software attacks. We had gone over it in the review. I've done a review already that's recorded. The difference between attacks requiring the user, the end user, to need to do some action versus remote attacks where basically it's already downloaded onto the machine and no user is active. From business continuity to data governance to the database, we've covered this. On cloud computing, which is TG3, what is cloud computing? Talking about the vendors from Amazon to Microsoft to Google. These are the 3 vendors, but there are many popular cloud computing vendors, and there's specific cloud computing vendors with any type of software that we're usually used for. The types of cloud computing, cloud services. We talk about as a service, basically using a browser from the infrastructure, from the platform, from the operating systems to the software itself. There's also ways in which usually we as the end users use cloud computing as public, meaning we need a username ID, but our data and the software is on the cloud on a server managed by the vendor, but we don't know where our data is being stored. And usually it's stored in the same computer as other end users. Private means, of course, that if we are a company that requires extra security, like the Department of Defense, they're saying we want extra security, so we want that to be private. We want not to share even our data with other end users, even though it's password protected. We may even decide to tell the vendor we only want our server to be located in a certain community, in a certain state, not abroad, only in the United States. And we want them to have extra security. And a hybrid is a combination of both. We talked about data, the different ideas of data, when it should be minimized. And the idea, any type of data, when we have large amounts, we look for patterns as data mining versus artificial intelligence. How do you tell if the computer basically came up with the answer versus human beings? We know natural language processing. We're using it even here in Zoom, where we're doing voice to text, summarizing it. The enterprise also has software via the entire enterprise. We talked about it. For instance, our university has a lot of enterprise software For instance, Workday is an example where Workday is using it for financial purposes, for payroll, other types of issues. Salesforce is another enterprise resource planning. What we're talking about, transactions, taking each transaction that we make into the system, like we buy something in a store, that's a transaction, and how we need to have its critiques, the database. A lot of times we want exception reporting. What is exception reporting? Exception reporting means that we want to do those that fall at the edges, meaning the very best, or problematic problems. Data warehouse versus data mart. Both of these, we know that it's historical data, right? This we know is going to be historical in nature, not real time. We know that it's non-volatile. And the difference between a data warehouse basically is where we store our data to make hypothesis testing. We can be using it for marketing campaigns. The data warehouse is broad. The data mart is specific. So the data mart is more contained, project specific. We talk about security. We talk about the idea we've already discussed, social engineering, right? Someone's using social skills, bad actors are interrogating naive users. And you need to know the difference when we're talking about piracy of stealing software that is not open source, spyware that's in the background, ransomware, where we have bad actors taking control of computers, hardware, and demanding if you want your hardware working appropriately, you're going to ask them many times to give you currency, money, many times in a Bitcoin fashion. Viruses, key loggers, that people can steal your data, your passwords without you knowing it. Business analytics. We talked about the differences between just basically business analytics. We can think about it as time frame, right? Between what? The past, present, future, and suggestions. On what action to take. And then there's open-ended questions. The open-ended questions are on our readings, on also the presentation done by Personal AI that has been recorded as well, that are on slides. But basically, you can look at these articles that are also on the web links, but are here too. This one is, what is artificial intelligence? What are the subfields of artificial intelligence? Thinking about how AI can be applied to business. That's going to be key. What are the challenges of AI? And based on this artificial intelligence, you can think about also with data, you can think about also machine learning, What's the difference between machine learning and AI? We talked about the idea that machine learning, how does it differ? Differ from traditional computing. If I give a formula into Excel and giving that same formula many times, the answer, even if it's incorrect, it will give me the same answer. Machine learning differs that it learns from itself, and users can supervise it, tell it it's making mistakes, and then it can improve. So machine learning, you can think about machine learning is the key here is learning, and it can improve. Basically, we talked about automated trading. When we talked about our trading algorithms, we used the same trading algorithm. It did not improve. It gave us the same algorithm. In machine learning, if we knew we were losing, because what is our objective is to be having a positive profit, then machine learning is that it would try to improve in getting better returns. So we talk about that. What's the difference between machine learning, data mining, deep learning? We also talked about cloud computing. What is cloud computing, right? That we're talking about. It's going to be on demand. It's via a browser. We do not have it. It's not on premise, but via a browser. I'm using a browser to get to my data. Many times the benefits is the enterprise does not have to update the software. The vendor does many of it, so it takes the load off the enterprise, and the vendor takes it. You need to know what are the different types of cloud computing. As we said before, public, private, hybrid, whatever its services, infrastructure as a service. So instead of using our computers in the lab, we could use other computers like we did when we did the remote computing for NinjaTrader. Platform as a service. The platform means what? Using another operating system. Many of you have Apple's operating system. In order to use NinjaTrader, we needed Windows operating system. Instead of downloading Windows to your Apple machines, to your Macs, or to physically go into the lab, the computer lab, we were able to use platform as a service and use one of the vendors, for instance, Microsoft, and say, we need to use a Windows environment, and this is the software we need to use. Please install this type of software, for instance, NinjaTrader, on what? On Windows operating system on their machine. So basically, on our Ninja trading assignment, we were using infrastructure as a service because we were using the hardware of Microsoft. We were using platform as a service because we were using Windows. And we were using software as a service. We were using NinjaTrader that was installed on Windows with Microsoft's computer. So if you think about types of cloud services, if we ask for an example, you could use that NinjaTrader, and you were really having hands-on experience using an infrastructure as a service, a platform as a service, and a software as a service. What are the business uses of cloud computing? And there are many. So these are two websites that can, besides the cloud computing chapter, that you can review. They're very similar and giving reviews. The other one that we talk about is generative AI. And generative AI is like the chat GPTs we know. And the question is how is generative AI? How does generative AI work? What are the benefits and limitations of generative AI? Limitations, maybe in many cases, could be that it hallucinates. It gives you authority in giving you answers, but it may not be the correct answers. The benefits, really saving us a lot of time. What are use cases? Which industries? And you would need to know, for instance, like in the financial industry, where do you see generative AI being used, and what are its concerns? Many people have a concern of generative AI is people are going to lose their jobs, and that may be one of the concerns. And also, can I trust the trustworthiness of it? And taking the data from an enterprise, they're worried about other people making it exposed to the internet. So those are the uses. Where can you, we've talked about it in a class, and also these are 2 articles that discuss this. And that is our exam. So I think people will feel a bit more relieved because you know that the type of exam it will be. It will be no surprises. It will be the same format. So are there any questions before I continue on the exam? You can unmic yourself, or you can put a note in the chat.
I had a question.
Sure.
Could you scroll a bit, actually?
Hmm?
Could you scroll up? Could you go over the HIPAA compliant version? I'm not sure what that was.
Right. So HIPAA, first of all, we got to find out what does HIPAA stand for. So if we basically HIPPA, if I go to Google and I type HIPPA compliant, right? And I'm getting right here already what? It's generating AI here that HIPAA stands for Health Insurance Portability Accounting Act. Have you ever gone to the Wellness Center, Dylan, on campus?
Yeah.
One of the things they basically try to do is say, one is that we're going to protect your data. If people are sick, right, and then I say, oh, let me call your doctor, they say, oh, I missed class last week because I had the flu. And I said, well, did you go to the doctor? Oh, yeah, I did. You can call my doctor. Can I just call your doctor, Dylan, and ask?
No.
No, because what? It's protected. And it's not only protected because it's a common state, right? If somebody comes to me and asks me, can I see Dylan's score? I say, hey, that your data is protected based on what they call a family act, right? For the university, the same thing, your data in terms of legal terms is protected. And who can see your data are only those people that you give permission to. So you say, hey, I want my family to be able to access my data, or what else? Or I'm giving permission that this result can be shared with someone else. That was a prior president, Donna Shalala, she enacted that, president of the university, she enacted it. And what's the idea too? That it's portable. The whole idea was to get that health care that when you go to New Jersey or you go to India, your health data will be portable as well. That's a health act that is done in the United States. And basically, it's compliant. There's a lot of, and is there data? Sure. Is that this data going to be essential then to do AI? You think, could we do that in personalization, Dylan? Yes, we could. But guess what? If I wanted to do that data and I said, Dylan, work with me, we can predict who is going to get migraines or something, they would say, Dr. Rush, we cannot give you the data, specific identifiable data. We cannot give you everyone's in the thing. We'll give you unidentifiable data that you can't relate to. So that's the HIPAA. Excellent question. What else? Any other questions that you're not clear about? I'll be happy to do this. Chapters 4 and 5, are what we went over last time. Anything else? Anything else, Dylan, in the chat?
Is it going to be 2 open-ended questions like last time?
Exactly. You remember last time, and it will be exactly. I'll give you 2 questions.
It was a little bit more clear on the last review.
In which way?
Are all of these questions possible questions you could ask?
They're possible, but you know what? If I were going to, I would look at cloud computing and I would look at generative AI and AI, generative AI.
Okay.
I would focus in on those. Does that put that more?
Yeah.
Does that help?
Yes.
Hint, hint.
Yeah.
Is it 60 multiple choice questions?
Yes.
Okay. And you said cloud computing and generative AI, focus in. Were those
Yeah, that's what I would do. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, so I would do, if we're gonna do it, because we're limited in time here, I would do generative AI, but in generative AI, Andrew, you need to know what AI is. You know, it's one based on the other, but what's the difference between generative AI and regular AI? It's creating something new. That we think about a generative AI. And generative AI, because you know now that ChatGPT came and it's basically a year old, right? For everyone to think ChatGPT, it really AI has been around a long time. The only difference is that they've made a nicer interface with it that everyone can use it. You don't have to be a programmer to go along with it. That it makes it more popular. The problem with that also is it produces so quickly authoritative examples which may be incorrect, right? With what they call hallucinations, that it may be incorrect and you have to work with it. So sometimes there's so many different ones, you can even discuss one versus the other. Any other questions? Good questions. That's why it's great that we're together. So these you should know anyways. There may be questions that are part of the chapters, but I would concentrate on the generative AI part and the cloud computing.
Does everybody get the same questions? Like everybody should focus on those two things?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody in this class. I don't know everybody in the world, but everybody in this class. Versus random questions.
How similar do you think the multiple choice questions are going to be to the quiz questions that we've had for these chapters through Blackboard?
Yeah, I think I'd do the same thing as I did before. I'd study that, plus let me go into my Blackboard. If I go into my Blackboard, I'd go also, where's Wiley Plus? I'd go through the quizzes again and go through the multiple choice, and in the Wiley Plus, let's pick one. Tech Guide Cloud. And in Tech Guide Cloud, you see these flashcards. Who was asking the question?
That was me.
Who's me?
Andrew.
Andrew. Okay. So Andrew, if you go to flashcards, Tech Guide, let's see. You see here under quiz. So if I look under the quiz here, I'd take these quizzes too. A technology where a service provider makes computing resources and infrastructure management available to a customer as needed. So is it utility computing, service-oriented infrastructure, platform as a service, or on-premise computing? So what do you think? So on-premise computing, because they say it's a service, that's not it. Utility computing, it wasn't. So service-oriented architecture, platform as a service. Let's say I say platform as a service, basically, and then I submit. They say it's incorrect. So if I say infrastructure, right? So I can try it and I can go okay, and then I can take the next one. So you can take these and you can see it. So you can go through these. I would go through these quizzes there that you could see, and then you could see whether you got it right or wrong. So I go through the quizzes you've taken in the past, go through like the summaries of the chapters, and then go through these quizzes. And the beauty here is you can take the quizzes on all of these flashcards. So it wouldn't matter which chapter you did, you could go through that as well. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it did. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So I think the quiz idea is a nice idea. Quiz yourself. You can even do it if you like in a group. You can do it as a group. You can even share it via Zoom or something like that, and you can test each other to make it a little bit more fun. I know everybody's limited in time, so we want to be as most efficient as we can. You can even ask AI, right? Go to ChatGPT or Bard and have them write you some questions. That's another thing. Okay. Any other question about the exams? Dylan, is there anything else I need to refrain from?
I don't think so, no.
Okay, so everybody kind of knows 2 questions for the open-ended. You have a choice whether you want, some of you wanted to take the open-ended first, get that out of your way because you kind of got it in your mind, and then do the multiple choice. But of course, you cannot go back and forth. So once you submit to the open-ended, then only can you go to the multiple choice. But once you have it down, it will cover that. Okay. Okay, next, let me go back to my what's due section. Great question. Thank you for reminding me. So if I go to the what's due, I see here that this is due. Everybody understands this. And then the open-ended, check for these links here. Perfect. Okay. The next thing some of you missed from the last time, you can review my Monday recording from last week, is that I'm giving you a personal AI training assignment. All of you got upgraded by a personal AI. And what I want you to do now is I want you to train your personal AI with your data. And I want you basically to train it and then basically ask your personal AI questions as if you were like in a mock interview. I don't need to see you training it, but what would be nice is once it's trained and you're doing your mock interview, what I'd like you to do is upload your recording to your audit section of your personal AI interview and summarize the lessons learned, the strengths and weaknesses. So you can see in this document, you have the assignment. This assignment is due December 4th. So basically in this assignment, you'll then go through the training, the interviewing, and submitting it along with your pros and cons. And here's some helpful tips. When interviewing, turn on your autopilot, click your name, copy any of your resumes, cover letters to put into the stack. If you have any, your LinkedIn information, and you'll do it. Based on this, what I like everybody to do is now go to your audit area. Everybody go to the audit area. Everybody there? And let me just go to the audit area. This is the audit area. And where I want this assignment to be is not in the project, because it's not a project. I want everybody to go to groups. So everybody go to groups, and you'll see in the groups, for instance, Dylan already has done a sample. And if you go to group 6, you'll see at the end, there's a folder called Personal AI Interviews. So for right now, everybody should make, just for your group, not make 10 of them, but just make one called Personal AI Interviews. And inside the Personal AI Interviews, you see that Dylan has already done the assignment. He's used Zoom to record that session, and then he uploaded it as an item. And you can see here, he put the lessons he learned, the pros, the cons, and the suggestions. If you want, you can work with another person on it. Each of you do your personal AI, and then you can interview one another. Or since we're limited in time, you can just do this on your own and you just interrogate your own personal AI. Dylan did this where Spencer was asking him questions, but this is Dylan's personal AI. You decide, I'm giving you the option. You want to work with another person, you both can submit your personal AI and test each other and help each other, or you can do it on your own. This is due December 4th, that Monday. And basically, it's a way in which you can basically figure out what is a personal AI program using a small language model versus a large language model. And the difference here is that you're training it with your own data. And most generative AI programs up to date have been external. You haven't been able to train it. So think about ChatGPT or Bard or Call Annie. We are not able to train it ourselves. And what do most companies want to do is train it with their own data. So if we're the university, we want our own data to be trained to get better help with our own data. And that's kind of the way that the future is. Microsoft has something called Copilot, other ones Bard and others. The next version, you'll see a lot more ways in which companies say, we want our own data and we want our data to be within our own organization and not be with on the internet that others can see our data or our data can be trained and then we cannot trust our data. So you'll see a number of companies giving two versions. One, a regular generative AI where it's the company is training it using our data and other people's data, what's on the web already, versus something like this is personal AI, which they're using data that's available, but also your personal data. And supposedly your data will be preserved for only yourself. So that's part of the AI. Any questions on that? You can put it in the chats or you can unmic yourself. That's due December 4th. And just put a
I just had
note
a
here.
question.
Yes.
So this new project is due December 4th, and then our final project is also due December 4th.
Your final project, your presentation will be December 4th. I'll cover. This is an assignment. Yes. But the final of your final presentation is not due December 4th. Your presentation will be due December 4th.
Did that say
it's not due then?
What does not due?
When is the final project due?
The final project presentation is due December 4th, and the final of all your revisions is due on December 12th.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So you should be able, so for right now, what I want to do before anybody figure, everybody go into groups and make sure that each group has then that folder at the end. Right at the end, right now, before we move, you have it on the top, it's fine. Group 1 has it on the top, it's fine. Personal AI interviews. So you can put it on the top so you can see it.
Did
Either
it
on the bottom or the top.
Did it say we were also going to have a presentation, like slideshow with the?
Yes, with what? I'll
with
get
our-
to that. Let's just finish this assignment, then I'll get to our project. Is there any questions on this? Andrew, is there any questions on this assignment?
No.
Okay. Everybody ready? Priscilla, any question on this? And if you want, you also can have this. We also have under web links, you'll see there's also personal AI slides. When the folks came, if you'd like, you can also look at that of personal AI giving instructions on what was done. But it's pretty straightforward, going to the personal AI and chatting and then querying it. So you can go through that as well. Plus you can review the session. Next, let me go back to what's due. So we have in what's due Monday, what's due this Wednesday, we have our exam. Monday, we have our personal AI training assignment. And December 4th, we have our formal group class presentation. Under our formal group presentation, Priscilla, each group is going to be given a formal presentation on your project. I want everybody to sign in 10 minutes early because we're going to start right away with group 1 as soon as we're at 3:35. Each group will have 7 minutes to give an overview of your project. And in your project, in the overview, you will be presenting some kind of PowerPoint slide presentation, going over your website, showing how you did the SEO, bookings, how you did the social media, and your posts. A good way is to even have one slide with your website so you can show your website. I'd like each person in the group respond. And present. I'll be giving you feedback in real time as you're presenting and at the end of your presenting on how I think you can improve your project. On December, the final, once you've presented, I'll give you feedback. And then what I'd like you to do is to initiate my feedback and implement my feedback into your project, and then meet with your group and do a recorded final session. You'll do a recorded final session giving your presentations to make sure that you give it as if no one knew about your project, because your projects I know about already, so you would do it in a formal way. It can be longer than 7 minutes. It doesn't have to be hours, but you're not time constrained to 7 minutes. You want to show your presentation, and what's nice is think about it that you could present that link to anyone else that they could see about your project. You want to submit it into your final project section of creating a subfolder where it will be your final group project with your updated URL, with your recording via Zoom or any other, with no password, your presentation, and also when you upload it, put a little note of what you made changes since the last time I saw it. So I'll be looking at it. And so if I said, well, you need to add more posts or something like that, you can say that we added more posts to the Instagram or something like that. That is due the time of your final exam, which is December 12th at 2 p.m. Instead of the final exam as an exam, the project will be at that date due. Is that clear, Priscilla?
Professor, we don't
It
meet
was.
for them, right?
Pardon?
We don't meet during that final period, right?
No,
Okay.
so we don't need to meet, but it needs to be done by 2 p.m. What other questions, Dylan? Priscilla, is that clear?
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. That's it. What else? Ryan, you have any questions for me?
No.
Okay. So we know that Wednesday, the exam is the same format. I'd concentrate on the cloud computing and the generative AI. And the other chapters in the book. And then for getting exam questions, Andrew, I'd go through the past quizzes, and then I'd even go through the Wiley Plus and look at their flashcards under quizzes and go through those types. And it should be familiar to you. You need to study, but I'm not looking to, Andrew, I'm not looking to, make it hard, esoteric questions. Anything else? So let's do attendance. And I'll stay with anyone about the exams, about your projects, about the homework. And you may want to look at Dylan. Dylan has graciously done the assignment beforehand. Dylan, you're in which chapter, which group? 6?
Yep.
Dylan's in 6, and you can look at what Dylan has done as well, Priscilla, to give you kind of like an overview of that. Okay, so let's do attendance. Let's do check-in. And we'll do the check-in. The number is 9709. You can stay with me after you check in. You can stay with me, and I'll be happy to answer any of your questions. Otherwise, I will see you in person on Wednesday. Come 10 minutes early so we can get settled and we can just start right away. Also, after the exams, I can meet you as well for the projects. Those of you that want me to look at your projects or other things after the exam, we can do that as well. So just check in 9709. Everybody have that number? And we can check in. (9709). So I'm going to stop sharing, and then I'll answer any questions that need to be. Okay, Lena, what question do you have for me?
I was wondering if you could take a look at our website again.
Okay.
And just sort of give me a few little things to work on.
Okay, perfect. So yours, let me just check with everybody and then maybe we'll do it. And Nicole, what is your question?
Also just look at our website and see.
Perfect, I'd love to. And what about you, Maya?
Hi, okay, so can you hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got a concussion on the 17th.
Okay,
and
why don't we take this? I don't need this to be recorded, and neither do you, right? We don't need to have everyone do this, right? It's again,
Yes.
need to know, it's almost HIPAA compliant, right? So we, even if you wanted to, you know what I mean? I'm not comfortable doing it. Let me just find out what other people are doing.
Okay,
because
perfect.
Looking at their websites is going to be important for other people to see. You understand?
And I'm in Lena's group also.
Your issues, if you'd be so kind, and what's yours, James?
I'm actually sitting with Nicole, just the same thing.
Okay, perfect. So let's do this.
No, no,
So
you-
why don't we do this? So how many groups do I have? I have two groups? Two groups. Okay, so Lena, why don't you start with yours? You share your group, and it's great because Nicole and James can see it. When I make a suggestion on Lena's, it's going to be for you too. Perfect. So let's do that.
Okay.
Great.
Do you want me to just share my screen for it?
Exactly. And
Okay.
that will be exactly what you'll be doing for your presentation, right? That you'll
Yeah.
be sharing each group, and that's why you'll need to be prepared, right? That you, when you're going to rehearse, right? You're not going to say, oh, I don't know who's sharing their screen. You want to make sure that you're sharing your screen, the PowerPoint is set, and we're ready to go. 7 minutes, we're doing it. So
Right.
Lena, let's go.
Okay. Wait, I just got it.
So share your screen, and that's the beauty. And that's why I'm leaving it up for the recording, because this
Right.
is really for everyone. And we just have to, and basically the AI would be able to figure out when somebody's talking about some issue that they should be shutting off the recording, or even asking us, do you want to shut off the recording? Remind us, right?
Right.
That's what we want AI to do, right?
Yeah. Do
Okay,
I?
but it's not there yet. Okay, so go ahead. So I have to physically turn it off, but go
Oh.
ahead, Lena. No, go ahead, share.
Okay. Let me. Okay. Here. Can you see it?
Yes, I do. Life coach. Okay.
Right. Yes. So I did fix that. But then I know we were supposed to delete the testimonials part, so I'll do that.
Okay.
At-
All right.
at the
Or
end
you
of
can
the-
make some kind of, call it something else, and inspirations or something.
Okay.
Of what you would like people to get out of it, rather than calling it, maybe call it something like that, inspirations, and I think it'd be good, put inspirations and put kind of inspiring quotes
Mhm.
for a life. I think that'd
Yeah.
be good. What do you think about that?
Yeah. No, I do like that.
I like that. Call it, instead of, you can change it this way, you don't have to take it out. Call it inspiration or inspirations, and then change the testimonial to, uplifting coaches. Okay, what else?
Okay, yeah. And then so we have this like just as like our opening page.
Okay.
Like that's
And you're going, life coach company is geared toward university age women. Okay, for any advice from wellness to fitness. Great. So you put, who's it for? Fantastic.
Mhm.
Okay, next.
Okay.
Our team.
And then-
The amazing women behind, and I like it, the amazing women behind, everybody looks happy, good. Okay, what the
Mhm.
difference here is, maybe, and this is it, marketing major CEO, maybe if you have some time, I put kind of chief of finance, what you're doing, what kind of strategy, do a little bit more
okay.
marketing major, rather than this looks too much schooly.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so I make it the CEO, and then maybe your goals for the company, or what you're doing, of marketing, what you're going to be looking at. I just
Okay.
add a little more to that part.
Okay.
Okay.
And then this is just some of
And
this.
then I don't know if we need the Connecticut. Go back up. I don't need to maybe put that as part of that little paragraph, rather than marketing major, it gets kind of redundant, major at University of Miami, you know what I mean? Major, something like that. Make it more like a little paragraph, inspiring. Okay.
Okay.
Next. Are you writing? Well, you can hear it. The beauty here is that we're recording. Okay.
Right. And then we have, this is just like the services.
Fitness coaching, academic coaching. Okay. Emotional health. Okay. That's good. Powered by numbers.
I don't know what this part is, but
I don't either.
I think it's just the website just kind of generated it.
Yeah, so change the wording of that, because that
Okay.
doesn't mean anything. No, it's basically target age is good. All life coaches. Yeah, this doesn't have anything to do with you. Maybe switch it, or something about the services rendered, or something like that. That needs to be changed. Okay.
Okay.
It's clear. Go ahead. Our story. Okay. All right. Is that it?
I think there's more below this.
Okay.
I'll change that
This will
part.
be inspirations. I like that as inspiration.
Yes.
And here our sponsors go back, our
Mhm.
potential sponsors.
Mhm.
The same thing for you, Nicole and James, is potential.
Oh, we should put that in there?
Yeah, because it's not
Okay.
your sponsors, right?
Right.
Our
Yeah.
potential, right? Because we want to make real that you'll be giving it to somebody and they say, hey, we'll invest.
Right.
One of those foundations or something will invest. And they say, hey, why should we invest? Already you got Chase, you know what I
Right.
mean? And Nike's already, plans and
Mhm.
pricing. Okay, go
So we
down.
have the
Okay.
different, like, versions of
And when you subscribe, does it work?
I don't think so.
Okay, so you need to work with getting that Zoom session to be coordinated with that Zoom session.
Okay. And
Okay,
then
everything needs to work. Did you do already your social media?
we created the accounts, but we haven't done posts yet.
Okay, so get the posts running. It doesn't take you a lot, but keep on doing the posts rather than waiting to the last minute to do posts.
Right.
You can already start doing posts. Everybody in your group can do posts.
Mhm.
And you can post to each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we have
Get in touch. Okay. If you have, okay, so you may want to do, I'm getting in touch here. I would put this note here too, the same one as I would tell you. Get into, if you want, for programs and also for possible sponsors. And maybe you want to have two contacts.
Yeah.
Specifically for for maybe even in the contact, maybe right next to the potential sponsors, get in touch as a potential, or maybe write that down as a potential user or a potential sponsor. There's also a potential coach, right?
Oh yeah, that too.
You know what I mean? So you need to have coaches. You know what I mean? Or not even coaches. What's needed here, this is the one thing that really will lift you to an A level, is do a demo using some of the AI products of getting coaching. So take something like Hey Pi, or even Bard, or Call Annie, and do like common coaching that people need. I'm feeling anxious. I have so many exams coming in. I feel, my relationship issues, academics. I've been getting lazy. I gained 5-10 pounds. I don't know I have to get my butt off and do something,
Yeah.
So I would do little short clips with an AI and then post them. Examples of coaching, and maybe you could even do a person with a person with like even personal AI. You could do it,
Yeah.
or any of the other ones, and record it. You and someone else in your group working with. It could be a hybrid thing. I need coaching. I can work with a coach and also with an AI.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
Those three,
so
then
much.
it could lift you to a letter. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, did that help you guys too, Nicole, and all of you? You see that potential, and then show it.
Yes.
Because it's the other ones that you could have gotten an AI just to do it, right? Now we want the AI to show us how coaching can help. You can make even like a 2-minute clip, a 1-minute clip. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be long, but just show examples of how it can inspire me, how it can help me.
Yeah.
And that's where I see it really helping. And then they're going to have those AIs like Hey Pi. That's what they're made for, is for, helping in terms of coaching, making you non-judgmental, supporting you, that'll say, hey, Lena, don't give up, you're doing a great job, or whatever,
Yeah.
rather than take away that self-doubt talk.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. And then we look forward. And if you have those questions, Lena, then after the exam, you can show it to me too again.
Okay, that'd be great, actually.
You know what I mean? that we can
Yeah.
do it. But now you know to bring your thing. So bring those things also for where you're talking about major university. We don't need to emphasize that so much. What we need to know is what do you know? Why are you inspired or whatever? You don't want to make it
Right.
look like a university, silly project, but rather some essence there that you can show to somebody else and they say, oh, who cares that you're from Connecticut? You know what I mean? You could be anywhere. I really, that's not going to make the world any greater. You're not looking for, a dating partner. You needed to be in Connecticut so you can see them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. But that can be virtual too. Okay, next.
Is there any way I can share my screen and show our website?
Sure. Should be a way.
Too?
That's what we've been having our class, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is like our homepage.
Okay, we saw that before. So what has changed, or where you still?
I added this little blurb about us. in
Okay.
the beginning.
Welcome. We're a team.
Assuming.
Okay, I would make that, it's too much reading.
Okay.
I would make it maybe bullet points, and I would emphasize not so much the University of Miami, but emphasize what this is.
Okay.
You know what I mean? We're not advertising the University of Miami, you understand? And we're not with backgrounds in maybe that'll be later, but what is this for?
Okay.
I as an end user don't care that you're at the University of Miami. I as an engineer, maybe you're back in business tech and analytics, but rather tell me right there, what is it that you want me to, do you see that, James? What is it that, why I want your services, I want something from you.
Yeah, that
And
makes
that
sense.
thing, University of Miami or whatever, or business tech, that can be in what about us? But right now, what is it? What do you do?
Okay.
Okay.
Then we have like a little logo, a little bit more about
The
us.
logo's nice.
And then here we did the reviews you mentioned. So we looked at 3 different platforms and each recorded a video of us going ahead and doing a review, looking at pros and cons and like what businesses
you
can-
understand? And do
Yeah.
you share something like that? Did you bring to life? You know what I mean? And look at it. Okay.
Yeah.
And then maybe have it matching or something like that. Bring it to life.
Yes.
And then this part too, the next part, go down, go up or down. Yeah, this about us kind of thing. I don't know, a lot of reading there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe we could cut that down a little bit.
Yeah,
Mhm.
cut it down, or even give it into Chat GPT or all the other ones and say, I need this for our website and I need it to be short and compelling. What do you got?
Okay. And
You know
then
what I mean? And this part too needs to be redone. What is it? What are you giving me?
yes. Okay. And then we just have our team page
And
here.
here in the team, you can talk about what you know what I mean?
Yeah,
what
we
you
did like
do.
little
You know what I'm
blurbs.
saying? You can do stuff like that. Even that.
Then we just have our events.
Okay, and what do you? Okay, and one of the events, okay. And
Yeah.
one of the events would be good if you had like a Zoom. Did you do a Zoom like integration?
Yeah, I did that with the bookings page.
Okay, book online, perfect.
So if you have like, if you went to click
So
book.
I do a free version.
Okay.
Write
Yeah,
that
so-
down. James, write that down. On the booking online, you always want to have something free.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because I did, I
You
think
know what I
that-
mean? Because why should I pay you money? I don't even know if you're going to help me, right? I don't know, even if I'm a multi-billionaire, right? I don't like just to waste, throw out money unless I see it. And a lot of times, maybe in the beginning, you don't want to charge anything and you just want to get a following. Once I get a following, then I can get sponsored something else.
Yeah.
And then here I would do potential good.
Yeah, we have our.
Okay, much better, right? Internship opportunities, that's nice, but an internship, okay, now how are they going to get in contact with you?
Oh yeah, we should put a contact.
So you need a contact for potential sponsors, contact for interns,
Mhm. Yeah.
add that too.
And then just our pricing.
Yeah, we made
Yeah,
that.
right. And our pricing and see if they work. And what about your social media?
We just have to link, we have the links already, I just have to.
Okay,
create
so
the
and you want them posted and you want to make sure that they all work.
Yeah, they're all
Yes.
posted.
You understand? But the main thing is you got your group got nicely, you got the videos where I told the other group to do. Now you have to come in that I don't have a lot of readings. Tell me, you know, because the website, nobody pays a lot of give me those bullet points almost of what you can do for me, why should I go to you?
Okay,
University of Miami business, who cares?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That could be about us and it doesn't need to be so much. You know what I mean? It's not like the major thing. The major thing, what you can do for me. Right? I'm not getting, it's not like you're not selling University of Miami degrees. You know what I mean? That you have to show, hey, we're at the University of Miami. And this is going to be virtual anyways, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
So it's not like come to the University of Miami, you know, we have a great time, you know, come to our beach or to our sun and fun.
Mhm.
If I were the university, that's what I would sell. But here you want to sell your service. Think about it, your service selling.
Yeah.
How does
Okay.
that?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, as usual, anytime. And then if you have time between then and you do it, just, you know, let me know. And then we can even take a few minutes at the end of the exam and you can show it to me again. But
Right.
you already know how to critique yourself.
Yeah.
Right? That's what I'm teaching you, not the content. You can even go to ChatGPT or any other, have it write some of the script for you to make it clear. That's fine.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And you use your time more efficiently. That's almost like the way, but then show why it is. And so maybe you'll have like a little write-up or something on each of those, like a summary of some of those things you want, or how you're going to use some of those AI. That I don't see.
Okay.
So think more about that. How am I going to, something compelling there, more, talk about that more in the part than, you know, University of Miami, I'm a business tech, I don't care what you are.
Yeah.
Really, I care what service you're going to give me.
Okay.
All right. Sounds
Thank you
good.
so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay, now I'm going to stop recording. Right?